guys, it's Sarah Evans. Welcome back to another episode of Diving In Deep. Today's guest is the amazing Landyn Hutchinson. Landyn is a lifestyle expert, an entrepreneur, and the voice behind Living With Landyn. Landyn has built a thriving community of women wanting to live their very best lives. We had such a great conversation. We're now best friends. I totally love everything that she talked about. We are completely of the same mindset. So if you like the episode, please download it and also leave a review. Landyn Hutchinson, thank you so much for being here today. I have to admit that I'm a new fan.
Okay.
And obviously welcome. We've never met before. But you said that earlier you went back to your like 2000s. Don't say 90s. It's
no,
2000.
I know. I wasn't going to say 90s. I am a 90s country fan, but I knew you were much younger than that.
Thank you. Yeah.
I saw you. I think it was like at the chili cook-off in Davie, Florida. And I'm a Suds in the bucket girl. Yeah. I just am. So okay. as this came up, I was like, let me just get a little Sarah Evans radio on.
Why? Okay. It's Suds in the bucket for everybody. I wonder why that is. I mean, it's a fun song.
It has a good, I don't know what that's called. I have a lot of friends that are songwriters, but I don't really, what is it, the hook?
Yeah, it's just got a good beat, but it's like, little girls, women your age, older women, like it just doesn't matter. Everybody associates me with that song.
I think maybe the Suds in the bucket goes back to, it's just that reference. You can see just this, that you like throwing down the sponge and like, you're out, I don't know.
Well, because... So do you have children?
I do too.
Do you have a daughter?
Yes.
So how old are they?
Daughter's 20 and our son 17.
Okay. I have a 20-year-old daughter as well.
See, that's what we should talk about.
Absolutely. Oh my gosh. So yeah, it's the fear of having a daughter who will like fall in love with a bad boy. Mm-hmm. And it can actually really change the whole family and the whole trajectory of the family's life, because if your daughter falls in love with a boy that you don't like, or that he's a bad influence, but she's like in love, you just don't know what's going to happen. And that is Suds in the bucket.
The other thing that I think about though is I almost worry more about my boy, because I feel like if he marries someone, like usually they come back to, the wife goes with her family. So I'm like, right. Will that be the last Christmas I ever see him?
No. Okay. Here's the deal. So I have a son and two daughters. Okay. And so ever since, they were all little, we have been telling Avery, my son, like, if you do that, we will kill you.
Yeah, pretty much.
And so if we see any aspect of that in the girl you're dating, like she's dead.
Yeah, to us.
She's dead. You're not going to keep dating her because it's not fair. So my 21-year-old daughter, Olivia, is engaged.
Okay.
And we love his parents. I've become great friends with his mom. And I promised her, I said, because she only has two boys.
Okay.
And I always feel bad for just boy moms for that very reason that you just spoke of. So I promised her one night, I said, because they live in Oregon, I said, when they have a baby, I promise you I will do everything I can to make sure that it's not just, we go to mostly the maternal grandparents.
Right.
And it made her cry. We both cried because she was like, thank you so much. Because I've always
considering
her
feeling. Yeah, for sure.
But my son knows that his sisters and I would kill him.
Yeah. And I think raising, him growing up around sisters too, he's got that influence and probably that family dynamic and bond that you feel like. I feel like my daughter's the one that can also deliver the messages to my son and vice versa.
Yes.
So they have like a secret language where I can feed it. And then I'm like, go say that to him about that girl because I'm just not a fan.
Exactly.
But it didn't come from me.
Right. It has to come from the sister guy. Because they have a different relationship.
They do. And they can say how they really feel. And, then it would come back to bite me probably.
Right. Okay. What are your kids' names?
So our daughter's Lily. Mm-hmm. She's a junior in college. She's at Michigan.
Okay.
So she's a little far away. And then our son's Luke.
Okay.
I didn't mean to do L's because it's
Lily
Landyn,
and
Luke, Lily, Landyn, Luke, Steve.
So Steve.
Just Steve.
Steve's he's the outcast.
He's the guy.
Yeah. My sister did that she had 4 kids in 5 years and she named him Riley, Maddie, Molly, Bailey. And then afterwards she was like, what did I do?
Yeah. That's a mouthful. I think my mom still calls me the dog, though, and she's rattling all of us off because I've got multiple siblings. My husband's an only child. So mine's an interesting family tree. I was the original. And then my parents divorced when I was 2. So it was just my mom and I until she remarried. I was about 12 and he had 2 boys.
Okay.
So I gained some step brothers and they were 9 and 6. So they're pretty little. So we kind of Brady bunched it. Yeah. And then my mom and stepdad had my sister. Her name's Olivia also. And she came along when I was 21 and in college. So she's just like graduated from college and like, so I feel a little bit like the hip mom. However, my parents were younger when they got married, 18, had me at 21. So
whoa.
Yeah. And then my dad, my real dad, he went on and married and I have 2 half sisters. So we've got this like crazy family tree, but it works. So
I've got that too. Well, my parents were married for 18 years and had 5 kids. So 5 Evans kids. Then my mother remarried and had 2 little girls, which they obviously grew up in the home with us. So I come from 7 kids. I'm the 3rd oldest of 7.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm the oldest girl. So I have 2 older brothers and 4 younger sisters.
Okay.
So
yeah, that's a big household.
Yeah. But I think you can, how old's your son? 9?
17.
17.
Yeah.
Why did I say 9?
That's okay. Sometimes he acts like it.
Yeah. So you seem though like the type of mom that whoever he marries will want to be around all the time.
Oh gosh, I hope so. He's got a darling little girlfriend right now that I adore. And I thought about this the other day because he's a senior in high school. So soon I'm walking into the empty nest, which I don't really like to say. I'll just call it like a bird launcher, right? Like
that's the job. Back.
Yeah. But so I'm about to embark on that next chapter, my husband and I. And I was a little panicked about it because there's that mother-son bond that's real.
Yes.
Which I never
Avery's
understood.
My favorite.
Yeah. My son and I are so tight.
Same.
And so I was like, oh gosh, I just don't know what this is going to be like. Number 1, it's my son. Number 2, it's the last one, and that. So, but I am excited about the next chapter for my husband and I because we've been together since we were 14.
Okay.
So we have a long history. And so, having our kids and raising them was like kind of replaying our lives. They're like mini me's of us. So it's kind of like we've cloned and now we've got this kid. So it's like just a rewind, which is super fun. But having a son is like going through the hardest, longest breakup of your life.
Yes.
Because it's like, come here, go away, call me, don't call me, that kind of thing. So it's been these, pushes and pulls, but we're very close. So I was a little just anxious about that next chapter coming up. But this sweet, sweet girl, I just adore her. I swear she was like sent from heaven because she's just allowed me to let go.
Right.
It's been a real blessing and fun for me to see him so happy. And she's just a little ball of energy. And I kind of love it. I think I was a little like panicked, like what that would be like. Not to say he's going to marry her, right? But it is a little glimpse into like how it could be and to see him with someone.
Yes.
Because he's always been my little guy, right? And
yes.
Even though he's like 6'5", 250 at 17, matter. He's still my baby.
In fact, I just had my son on the podcast and we talked because he's a musician also. Well, I've had the girls on too, but we definitely have that mother-son bond and, we're like best friends. But it's hard to raise a son because with the girls, you're like, you can kiss your girls their whole lives. You can snuggle with them. You can sleep in the bed with them. You can be naked around them. You can be, because it's your daughters.
Girl, yeah.
But with your son, you have to find this balance of how much do I mother him? How much do I advise him? How much do I stay out of his, And I remember when he got his first serious girlfriend, and it wasn't until he was 20. And I remember having like a little bit of mourning period, thinking if they stay together, forever, or even right now. Yeah. But I remember thinking, she will be the one who says, cut your hair this way.
Right.
Wear this.
Yeah.
And not me. And it's just something though that as a mom you keep inside because if you say it, you sound kind of psychotic.
Yeah.
But you do go through that little like, oh, my little boy will now be getting his advice.
And they start to pull away too, naturally, as they should, but that is true. I remember he's kind of more of my lover. He's the huggy one. My daughter is very independent. She'd arch her back off my lap when she was 16 months. Like she's about to go to Europe. So she's just like, let her go. She'll never live under my roof again. You know, like she's just always been like that.
Yeah.
Not that he's going to live down the street, but we always had this connection. So it's funny you say that, probably in the last year in that real transition period of just him not, needing me in those ways. And also, yes, mourning that chapter of my parenting.
Yes.
Which I'm excited for the next chapter, but it is kind of, when's the last? Like the last time you slept in the bed, years ago. But like, you're like, oh, that was the last time, so you just don't think of those things when you're in it because you're trying to live in the moment. But yeah, that's a real thing.
It is a real thing. And you have to, like I always tell people, I stopped mothering him when he was about 13 or 14 in the sense of, I never scolded him and I wasn't like, no, absolutely not. Like I never wanted to speak to him like that because I was like, he's now a young man, even at 13, 14. So now I've got to take these next few years and transition into being his friend.
Yep.
And, not mothering him and then kind of waiting for him to ask for help.
Sure.
Or advice.
Yes.
Yes. And it's great that he's a musician, so we do the same thing.
Right.
And so he does ask for advice, with that. But I'm just madly in love with all three of my kids, as I know you are. It's just the best thing ever. I mean, being a mom is, it's an undescribable joy. And like, it's your heart walking around.
I know it.
And it's so hard not to worry.
Right.
Like Avery, when he goes out on tour, sometimes he's touring, with a younger artist who's in a, what are those fancy vans? The Sprinter vans, like the big ones. And I'm just like, oh, great. So that's something for me to worry about all night.
Right.
While he's driving.
No, I know.
Yeah.
I know. I remember when our daughter went to college, it was a little bit of that, not out of sight, out of mind, but you do have to, or you'll make yourself crazy.
Yes.
Just have to, Jesus, take the wheel, You really have to throw it up to that because I just feel like so much of the world is out of your control and you can't spend your whole day and night and
you can't
spiraling.
And it's actually a sin. I mean, if you're a Christian and you believe the Bible, like you should, well, we're not supposed to fear.
Yes.
It's actually very much from the enemy.
Yeah.
Is to put those thoughts in our minds. Right. And the Bible says, do not fear 365 times.
Yep.
One for every day.
There you go.
But
yeah, no, it's true. And I'm so grateful that I kind of took that sense of peace and just put it around and knew that like, she's not mine.
Right. They're gifts.
Yeah. So it's been good. I actually was an easier transition than I thought because we were very close.
Yeah.
And I think the thing that changed was like the estrogen in the house, right? It's me, Steve, the dog's a male. It's like,
right.
I just miss her when she comes home. It's fun to just, do girl stuff.
That's awesome.
But yeah, they're great kids. It's been a great joy and ride and one of my favorite jobs, of course.
Same.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's the biggest dream of my life, way beyond making it in music.
Yep.
And, and then the second dream is that we just bought a farm and got horses.
Oh my gosh, stop. You're speaking my love language. So I have chickens and a garden.
I want chickens.
Do you have any?
Well, all right. During COVID.
I'm the crazy chicken lady, by the way.
You're okay. Well,
you wouldn't have guessed it, but it's true.
You're going to have to teach me then because we came home and all of our chickens had been murdered.
Oh, shit.
And there was like, I guess the police had already come because there was like the red line, outlining the bodies. We were like, what happened? I have no idea. It must have been a fox or something. We live in town.
Yeah.
On so 4 acres.
Interestingly enough. Yeah.
Yeah. We bought a chicken house.
Okay.
We tried to do all the right things.
Fencing? Did they dig underneath it? Did you pour a slab? I'm concerned.
No.
Okay.
We didn't.
We'll have to talk off air, but
Yeah.
That is.
How many chickens do you have?
Talk about a joy. 5.
Okay.
incubated. I have been on this since COVID. It was kind of like, okay, what's going to happen? We have to live off the land and sacrifice each other. What's happening? So we did that, built a garden, built the coop, like did everything. And I was like, I don't know a thing about this. And went to this little poultry hollow backwoods 2-hour drive and picked up these chickens, put $5 in a mason jar, and this lady gave them to me. And I was like, well, good luck. So, but since then I hatched my own. I did the candling. Gosh. I've been a chicken vagina. I've been a chicken.
That is going to be part of our reel.
Please, a chicken gynecologist.
I've been a chicken vagina.
I've been a chicken gynecologist. I've been in a chicken's vagina. That's what you can say. Well, it's kind of, one hole is a lot of things there. That's another thing I learned, and I didn't think I would, but.
So a chicken has one hole.
Yeah, it does all the things.
Everything in one hole.
All of it.
Number one, number two, eggs.
Everything. Yeah.
Okay.
Conceiving, laying, all of it.
Got it.
It's called a vent.
The vent. You are the chicken lady.
Well,
do you live in Nashville?
I do.
Okay.
I do. And, but it was such an interesting process. But all that to say, I've found so much joy, and it's so therapeutic to just, I let them out. They free range. I mean, they're like the golden retrievers of chicken. They jump right up in my lap. My dog, I have a yellow lab, which is a hunting dog that was trained to hunt. Absolutely loves them. Yeah. Loves them, sits around with them. People are fascinated by their relationship because I'm like, you want to go see the girls? He runs right out. He lays by the coop. But it's been a time, and it is so fun.
Okay, how did you get your dog not to kill the chickens?
I was like, Jack, if you touch the chickens, I will kill you.
Okay, and he heard that.
I mean, they were just
he speaks
teeny
English.
tiny. I mean, yeah, the dog speaks English.
Okay.
He is also
a child.
He's just human or sent from somewhere. This dog is like nothing I've ever seen.
He's a man in a dog suit.
Yeah, he's all of it.
Okay.
And he adores them. So he, since day one, I mean, he's been around all of it. And
I will say, I think there's nothing like having animals. Like since we got the horses, it's changed our life, and they need to be fed twice a day. It's 30 minutes away. So we get up super early, go down and feed them. We feed them every evening. And it's, ever since we've been doing that, and I grew up on a farm, and I grew up on a horse, but I didn't really know how to care for them because my parents did that.
Yeah.
So I would just, my stepfather would saddle for me, and I would just take off riding. So it's been a real experience. My husband has no clue. He's an athlete.
Okay.
A football player like yours.
Yeah. Look at that. We can talk about that.
We have so much in common. And so he doesn't know the first thing about horses, but just watching him take so much joy in it and this learning this new way of life and love. And the horses are majestic, and driving out to the farm is magical. And it makes me want to fly out of bed in the morning and do that.
It is a really rewarding, they offer you so much more than you could ever offer them.
Yes.
And in silence.
Absolutely.
So that's an interesting relationship. I guess a lot like any pet would be a dog or whatever. But yeah, it's something I never really thought that I would fall in love with like I did. But that would be my dream we have a place out in Utah, and I would live out there in a second. I mean, my husband's like, those winters are brutal. But I
but
also
the summers are beautiful.
Love animal. Like I just put me outside barefoot.
Well, if you ever want to come down and ride...
I do.
We need to exchange numbers because, it's changed my life. Yeah. And it's been my dream my whole career, but I've just never had the time. Yeah. And just this year, I'm slowing down a little bit touring so that I can have some weekends to do some stuff that I want to do. So
I know, I think about you guys, like you've seen the world, but you haven't seen any of it.
We don't do anything.
You know what I mean? Because you're out there performing and
it's just a job.
And all.
The 90 minutes on stage is amazing, phenomenal, a blessing. I praise God for it. I love the fans. But I will say that for the last 25 years, I've been nonstop on the road. And,
it's a grind.
Except for the 2 days I would take off every time I had a baby. And I'd be right back on the bus. And they all grew up on the bus. So,
I love that.
So what is your daughter studying, if she doesn't mind you telling?
Oh, yeah, no. So she went in as like a psychology major. She read a book, and she was like she would want to know that, the parent-child relationship at the dinner table. She was just like always analyzing us. She's funny. She's like a 40-year-old woman in a 20-year-old body. So it was that. Then she went into like econ and like international business, which is interesting because she's an excellent writer and like always loved English and history, but like hated math. Like that was not her strong suit. So to go into that, it was kind of interesting. And then from there, she had an internship this summer here with a publication, a startup, a female run publishing company and stuff. And she got to edit podcasting and write script and read manuscripts and all the things. And she just fell in love with it. And so she's going into journalism. She I think, is going to be a literary agent.
Wow. She's like,
yeah, she really is like
10
blowing my
things you
mind.
named.
I know. So she's just an interesting, wonderful young woman. I mean, it's just really fun to have a front row seat to their life. And then she just got accepted to go to school in London for next semester. So she's leaving, and I'm like, I guess 8 hours to Detroit versus 8 hours on a plane because we have an
excuse to go to London.
Oh, I can't wait to move.
You're dressed for it, by the way.
Oh yeah,
I want to talk about your style.
Okay,
I love your style. Okay, I'm one of those girls. Every time I see your haircut, I'm like, I'm doing that haircut.
Okay,
every time I get that haircut, I'm like,
I hate it.
It's not for me.
Yeah.
Although it looks fine on me, I'm addicted to the long hair.
Yeah.
So I love your hair.
Thank you.
I love the white shirt. I love the jeans. I love the shoes. And you do look like you could be in London.
Well, thank you. I love that.
Walking around.
I thank you. It's funny, I get that question. It's like, what's your personal style? I'm like, I think classic with a little edge would probably be what I would say. And funny enough, I actually got my hair cut this morning. So it was much longer and I just chopped it all off. So you're seeing it first.
Do you love it?
I had long hair in high school. Like I've always had long hair. And then I went real short, probably in my 30s. And I mean, to the point where it was like, not a Kate plus 8.
I was just going to say it was a Kate plus 8.
Not that, but just like shorter. And I'm actually a brunette. I am not a blonde. I just faking it my whole life. But
my God. Okay.
I love my girl.
Camera, I have to know who does. No,
I can tell you. The world knows. I scream it from the rooftops. Oksana.
Okay, she does your color.
She does everything.
Okay,
I will not. I mean, I've been with her for 10 years. I
don't know her.
She's got an incredible story. She was at Parlor 3. I'm sure you know Melissa.
No,
like her. Do you know her?
I'm a dork.
No, I don't actually know anybody either.
I lived in Birmingham. I raised my kids in Mountain Brook, Alabama.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so my mom's from Birmingham, born and raised.
Oh my God. So you know Mountain Brook?
Oh yeah.
Okay. My husband.
We're like sidebar.
Yeah. Well, that's what. So we moved back here in 2019.
Okay.
And Tyler Bishop does my hair.
Okay.
And so therefore, and I just like stick with,
Oh,
whatever.
me too. Listen, I haven't left her side. She's moved salon. She's opened her own salon. I'm just like, she just has a great American story. She's from Moldova and she came here after working at McDonald's in Birmingham with a daughter, single mom, and was like, I'm going to do this thing. And there was a write-up in a magazine that said best haircut in Nashville when I first moved here. And I was like, well, I guess I'll try that. So I call and they said, it'll be 6-7 months.
Wow.
And I was like, yeah, no, I can't. I'm about to go to Walgreens, get a box color, take the scissors myself. And they said, we have this new girl that just started here a couple weeks ago. And I'm like, you know what? I'm desperate.
And that was Oksana.
And they said, she's really good. And I was like, you know what? I will. And I had just come kind of off of trying to be a brunette again. And it was like not going well. So she said, do me a favor, give me sit in my chair 4 times. And just let me. And then from that day forward, we just connected instantly about kids and paint colors and random stuff. You know how you dump on your hairdresser. And we are like the best as of friends. As a matter of fact, we're going to dinner tonight.
Amazing. She is truly really good. One of the best blonde colors I've ever seen.
Thank you.
It's the perfect straw yellow.
Thank you. Yeah. I pull kind of a brassy, now this just turned into a hair podcast, but I pull like a real brassy undertone because I am a brunette, but she's just so good at it. And she does something called balayage, which is no foils, more of the painting on. So I'd say she's really almost more of a true artist because this is hand painted.
Right.
Instead of being like a foil or something like that. But I adore her. And I just sat down today. And to be completely transparent, I've been in a terrible funk of just, I think it's just like, I don't know what it is.
Style or overall?
Just like perimenopause, all the fun things that women have to go through. And you just kind of, and I'm a very upbeat person, but you just kind of get in this. And I just been in this mood and my hair was like falling out. I felt like I was getting thinner. So I called her last night. And I'm like, when can you see me? And she said, tomorrow at 8 a.m. And I was like, I'm there. And so I said, cut it. I need a change. I just needed, I don't know if that's a season thing too. Sometimes I feel like.
But the cut is so cool too.
And she does it straight across with like, almost like if your older sister wanted to like put a piece of scotch tape and like go, it's like not like with a lot of scissors and tools. She's just really got a good steady hand.
Straight across, but then what? She has to go into it.
She does not. This is completely blunt. She does not do any kind of texturizing.
Oh my God. Okay. Yeah.
She's funny, but we've done it all together. I've had bangs. I've had this. I've had that. But
it's fun to change. I like to change.
Yeah. I needed a little like, girl needs a little sass sometimes. Yeah. But yeah.
I feel like especially that length hair makes women look younger.
Okay, that's good.
Yeah.
Because I'm not getting any younger.
Well, none of us are. Yeah. Yeah. You look a little bit like Megyn Kelly.
Oh, well, thank you.
Yeah.
She's a pretty girl.
Yeah, I love Megyn Kelly. Her. Okay. So your husband played football.
Yes.
Tell me about him.
So Steve and I met in the 8th grade. We grew up in Florida together. Mm-hmm. And we dated all the way till, junior year of college. And I was just like, I'm going to wake up at 35 with 3 kids and we've never dated anybody else. So kind of like that.
Right.
And I grew up in his kitchen and him at mine, so we just have a long history there. Loved him to pieces. He went to school at Michigan, where our daughter is now. Mm-hmm. And then I went to school in Florida. And so we did the long distance thing. And we did break up for about 1.5 years. And then he kind of did this whole sweet Prince Charming thing just before he was getting drafted. And I knew, that would probably end up being his life path. It wasn't anything that I cared about. I've been with him so long. I honestly wanted a double wide and a son named Wyatt. Like, that's the truth. I didn't want a lot.
Okay, wait a minute. Why?
Because
you're just saying you didn't need a lot. You're simple.
No, listen, I had a very, very humble, I think people could look, right? Thinking like, she's married to an NFL guy. She's got this, she's got that. My story is so deep in so many chapters. Mm-hmm. Hence the book I was writing once upon a time that I put on hold. But it's like,
we have so much.
So much. I know. That's an undertaking.
Yeah, it is.
But I really wanted a simple life, and you struck when you said earlier, you hit something that also spoke to me, was that that was your life goal, is like, I want to be a mother.
Yes.
And I really was like, I want to be a mom.
Yeah.
I want to stay home and take care of my kids.
That's all I wanted.
Learn how to put flower arrangements together and roast a chicken. Like, I didn't want for anything else. And I
would have had 8 babies if I could.
Yeah. I just really enjoyed that. My mother was super like domestic. We always had people in our house. She always wanted people over, even though it wasn't like elaborate because she couldn't afford that, but it's just community.
Absolutely.
I'm a human connector. I love strangers. Like, I just, that's something that really makes me feel whole.
Yes.
Is being around other people and making other people happy and all of that. But I don't even know where I was going with that, except for a simple life. Yeah.
He was getting drafted.
He was getting drafted, and he kind of did the Prince Charming thing. And I wrote this whole story on my blog. It's called Our Love Story. And everyone's like, this has got to be a Netflix or a Hallmark movie. It's again, so many layers, but it's our story and it's my favorite story to tell. But from there, he got drafted by the Seahawks. And so we moved out to Seattle.
Wow.
And we weren't engaged or anything at that point. And then we did get engaged, got married the first rookie off season in Miami. We're from Florida. And then we were there for 5 years, had our daughter there. Then moved to Minnesota. He went played for the Vikings. We were there for 6 years, had our son there, and then played for the Titans his last part of his career. And that's how we landed here. And we've been here 10 years.
Wow.
So
oh my gosh.
All around.
Well, my husband is,
I didn't know this either.
Yeah. He played football at Alabama. He won the national championship in 92, Jay Barker. And they had not won a national championship in a long time.
Yeah.
So he was like Elvis down there. And then he got drafted by the Patriots.
Okay.
And then the Packers.
Okay.
And then he played for the South Carolina Panthers.
Okay.
All the P teams.
Yeah.
And I didn't know him yet at that time. And then we met in our early to mid 30s. We dated for like 5 minutes and got married. He has 4 children and I have 3.
Okay.
So we're the Brady Bunch, we're the Barker Bunch. And so every other weekend, his kids would come and be with us every other week in the summer. And he's from Birmingham. And so I was like, I am not going to ask him to move to Nashville and live in another state away from his children, because my dad lived in another state when my parents divorced, and I hated that.
Yeah, same.
So I just packed up my 3 kids and we moved to Mountain Brook, and they grew up in Mountain Brook, and all the kids were so little when we got married. So they don't even my daughters don't remember our wedding because they were so little.
Okay.
Yeah. But yeah, so he is
So when did he retire then?
He got hurt.
Okay.
So then he went and played for the CFL.
Okay, sure.
And then he played in the XFL that they were starting in Birmingham. Yep. And then he got a really bad concussion where he was unconscious.
Oh, gosh.
And he and his ex-wife had already had the 4 kids, and the 2 youngest are twins. And so I think he just thought, this is not worth it.
Yeah.
I mean, I've got to be a father and raise these children, and
it's a violent game. It's a sacrifice.
It is.
I mean, it's, I think a lot of people see the glitz and the glam of it, but it is it's a beast, it's a job. And
it is.
Yeah. I think it is a business.
What position?
For Steve was an offensive lineman, so he was a guard.
Okay.
What about your husband, Jay? Right?
Quarterback.
Okay, quarterback. Oh yeah, that's right. You did say that. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So my husband's job was to protect your husband.
Exactly. Yes, exactly.
So again, another connection here.
Yes. And so our whole family is music and sports, and that's what we did. But I also am an athlete. And so we grew up, and my kids are too. So we grew up just having so much fun because all we did was play sports together, and we lived right across the street from the elementary school, big football field. And so all we did was play. And his daughter, Sarah Ashley, is a star basketball player at Alabama.
Okay.
His son, Braxton, is a coach at Alabama.
Okay. His
son, Harrison, plays quarterback at UAB. And then 2 of my 3 kids are musicians. So it's just like, we're busy.
Yeah. You are.
We were so busy when we were raising them, because I think one weekend we counted that there were like 26 baseball and softball games that were on the schedule.
That baseball is an undertaking.
And softball.
Yeah. And softball. My daughter played that once upon a time. Wow.
Especially if they make the all-star teams, which they all did.
Or the travel or any of that.
Yeah. It's nonstop. Ooh. I've always wanted to make a documentary about travel ball parents.
Mm-hmm. That'd be a good one.
I know I got shot down every time I brought it up.
I don't know why, because I feel like a lot of people would relate to that.
No one does what I want to do. Like, I've been trying to play drums on stage for the last 25 years, and nobody will make it happen for me.
Why?
I don't know.
Are you in charge?
Yeah, but I don't know how to get the drums.
Yeah.
And
we gotta make this happen. Is this like a
because I'm a drummer.
Okay, well,
I can play drums, and it would be so cool if I would go and like my drummer can sing. Yeah, so he could come up and sing a song, and I could drum.
Why don't you just say like, "Hey guys, we're a little role reversal here today."
I've said it a lot.
Oh my gosh, I love that.
Yeah, it would be so cool. I could be like, who is it? Sheila E.
Yeah,
yeah. We could do like some fun song.
Yeah, you could.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
It would have to be a pretty straightforward song. Like, I'm not getting up there doing Wipeout.
Instagram and just like,
yeah.
I don't know, just throw it out
I should ask the fans, like, how many of you want to see me play drums?
You should rip some solo and then just be like,
yeah,
there you go. And just drop the...
That's probably what I need to do, is just go back to my drummer's kit and just be like, move.
Yeah.
I'm just going to do this.
Let it go viral or something.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, oh God, he should drop something in a bucket with Suds on it.
Totally.
Come on.
But Suds in the bucket is too hard for me to play on drums. Oh. Mine has to be like...
No, but maybe you could drop, like that would be, like get a bucket with Suds and then drop the drumsticks in it and let them splash up and that just be your intro.
We could do a remix and drop the 100%. Beat when we drop the
Let's do it.
Suds in the bucket. This is a podcast is about you though. Okay. It's kind of hot in here.
It's just about you. I love it.
Can you turn on the air?
It's just our hormones.
Sweating. I know. I'm getting all worked up about playing drums on stage. Tell me who you are. Like, tell me how you came from Florida to doing what you're doing now and dressing like you're in London. Because I do love your style. I looked at your page today and I'm I love everything she does.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. Let's see. Who am I? Landyn. Goodness. I'm a girl's girl. Mm-hmm. And that's really how this whole Living with Landyn started. I've really been...
What does that mean? I'm a girl's girl. Because have you ever heard the kids say... Okay, what is the word that they use for girls who pretend they're guys' girls?
Oh, I don't know.
Oh
See, I don't feel like I'm up with
What is that word? Because my son dated somebody like this, and my daughters did not like her. It's the girl that's like, yeah, I'm gonna watch football with the guys.
I don't know, but we're gonna find out.
We're gonna find out. We need to Google it. Or ask Olivia.
Where are the young people?
Okay, it's the girl who says, I'm going to watch football with the guys and y'all take a beer, but she really is not a girl's girl.
Okay.
And so she's kind of trying to steal your man.
Oh, okay. Yeah, we don't
kind of that girl.
Okay.
It's like a try hard.
I feel like I've met that girl.
We've all met that girl. Yeah.
Yes, we have.
Because I'm like you. I'm a girl's girl. I like to, I don't want to.
Listen, I think a girl's girl, or my definition, or who I hope to be or am, as more of like, I'm not a gatekeeper. So if you want to know something or and I'm also the person in Publix, let's say, if you said, oh my gosh, I love your jeans, I would say, oh my gosh,
this is where I got them.
They're a Goldie. I got them from here. I got them on sale. You should do this. Here's the tag. Take a picture.
Okay. I love that.
Write my phone number down. I'm like, what else do you want to know? Let me help you.
I love that. Well, and you told me who your hairstylist was.
Yeah, I have not a gatekeeper. Secrets. I mean, at this point on Living with Landyn, they know what underwear I'm wearing. I'm just like, here you go, girls. Because I feel like life is we're all trying to figure it out anyway. We might as well, we're going through it together and we're all the same at the end of the day with different colored hair.
Right.
Let's just stop. Let's just fix the crown, how they say, and just keep helping each other out. It's just would be such a better, happier place, which we all know. But the girl that would say, if you said I like the jeans and she was like, oh, and where'd you get them? Be like, I don't remember.
Right.
And I'm like, bitch, I know exactly where you got those jeans, what price they were.
Yes. And if I couldn't remember, I would find it for you.
Oh, I'd be like, I will send you
the link.
Yes, I will give it to you. So as far as that goes, I just enjoy people. Like I was saying earlier, I read, my mom, for what we had, always was very welcoming and stuff. So I knew once I was going to be a mom and stay home, and Steve had, worked himself, and worked so hard to have the career that he had, that I was able to stay home with my kids. I was like, what a blessing.
What a blessing.
I mean, gosh. So I just decided in that moment that I was going to be the best damn mom, the best wife. I was going to learn how to cook, take care of my house, garden. I was so enamored and wanting to know so much about this whole domestic, how do I be the best at this? Is my job. And what an important job.
You're my idol.
So I just really love it. I am a 50s wife at heart.
Same.
I am. I want to eat around the table.
Same.
I just am. I think it's a lost art, and I think we need to bring it back. I think that's what's happening. I'm like, come on, girls.
Landyn.
Reel it in.
I agree. I'm a trad wife. Okay.
I could totally be. Give me a cotton dress and let me milk something.
Absolutely. Okay. I'm obsessed, and I have told my girls, I posted a picture of my chili yesterday that I made, and my hashtag was cook for your family, because it's so important. And a wife and a mother, it's like the Proverbs woman.
Yep.
Proverbs 31 wife.
Yep.
Or woman. Is a wife or woman?
Woman.
Yeah.
Right.
So if you don't do that, it's just out of sheer selfishness and laziness, because and I got this from my mom and my granny, which I'm sure you did too. My granny was the biggest servant. She had a servant's heart. And all it is get off your ass and don't be lazy and make that extra step. Like yesterday, Sunday, my husband went and got pumpkins, and we got the carving things, and I made chili, and I made cinnamon rolls. And every Sunday we have Sunday dinner, because, everybody has significant others now, and it, turns into a pretty big group. If I was a lazy, self-centered bitch, I would just order pizza and lay on the couch until the kids came over.
Yep.
No. Because it has to mean something. It has to have
it's that whole like made with love, you know?
Yes.
And it's like pouring, it's nurturing. You're creating a home. You don't live in a house. And I think I've always celebrated little things. Like I would literally make our table look like a little bit of like find some like little decor stuff to make like taco night even more festive with my kids. I just always wanted to celebrate life and the little things and know that there's joy with that. Yes, each family has their ups and downs, but I think it's not even about the money, or it's just not about resources. I can go outside and clip a branch off my tree. It's the effort, it's the time, it's how I show love, and it's the thing that I'm really good at.
Same.
And I love loving on people. It's just been in me since I was born. So it's been something that I just poured myself into, and I think through that became this because there was an outlet to be able to share it with more people than just my family and my friends. But for a long time, I was always the girl that brought the appetizer and it was like, oh, that's so good. Can I have the recipe? I'll type it. I'll write it out. I'll put it in your mailbox.
Yes.
And so it just little things like that, or like, hey, where do you get your hair cut? And I was like, I got it cut here. Now, mind you, people might think this is crazy, but I never had any social media whatsoever before Instagram came along in like I don't think I got on there to like 2015. And it was just that I could share it there because I had Facebook, which my grandmother wanted me to get because she wanted to see my kids through pictures.
Yes.
So I would type it out on there and do all of that. But it just kind of evolved and got some legs. And I think it hit home with a lot of women in a similar mindset that were just like, I want to do these things for my family. And it was, I think, was meant always, and I hope it still is, a place that's inspiring, you know? It's not a comparison. It's just, hey, you know, you could make this chili too, or you could set your table like this. And I love doing it for my family. So it's just where I share it.
Exactly. I remember getting off the tour bus like on a Sunday morning and being dead tired after a 3 or 4 day run of shows and going in. Now, mind you, because, you know, I was on the road. So my kids grew up on the bus with me. I did not leave their sides at all. And if I had to, I hated it. I have PTSD from any time I had to leave them. So then when they got older, I would just do weekends. If I would get off the bus on a Sunday morning, and let's just say it was Jay's weekend for his kids, because we had my 3 all the time.
Sure.
I would run in and immediately start Sunday dinner because I wanted them to at least have a Sunday dinner before they went home. And also, those are the things that your kids remember. We all had the opportunity to grow up that way, most of us.
Right.
I heard one time that kids remember the most time outdoors, time spent on vacation, and time around the dinner table.
Yep. We still have dinner around the dinner table. We're one less at the table now.
Yeah.
With Lily being gone. But that is something, my husband's a big cook. He's kind of took on, that's kind of been his passion since retiring 10 years ago. So he kind of worked me out of that part of my job, which I'd always taken care of him when he was playing all 12 years, you know, and traveling. And I would get a sitter from time to time, but I never had a nanny or did any of that. I brought those kids to the games and all the snacks and up and down to the bathroom. And I wanted them to see him. Because you can do it. Yeah. I could totally do it. And it was just so much fun. I mean, them hanging their little heads over and daddy and all that. And I really wish, you know, when he retired, they were young. Lily remembers a little more than Luke. Like Luke would have ate that up. But those were just really special times. And I just poured everything I had into being the best wife and the best mom. And so I've always stood behind that. Like I go off of words that my grandmother said. I also wrote another blog post about that. I have my marriage rules 1 through 10, non-negotiables. I have a lot of things that my grandmother had said to me just about marriage. And they were married since they were 17 and 19 in Birmingham, Alabama, you know?
Yeah.
And it's just it's a sweet story. And they were married 78 years when she died last year at 92.
I'm sorry.
And my grandfather
I'm sorry you lost her last year.
I know, but wow, what a beautiful life. And they were just such an inspiration. I remember being so young, just the way she'd bring him his coffee and, you know, he would start her bath water and he would open the door and still pinch your butt. And I just, I mean, it's so cute, and filled my car up with gas and tucked $20 in the console, you know, when I'd come visit. And they were just, I grew up there, and with my mom being divorced, we lived with them for a long time. So my grandfather taught me how to ride my bike and do multiplication. And, you know, I had such an amazing father figure, males in my life that way, that so much of even my past didn't cloud that.
Right.
And I walked into my marriage in a good headspace that way, but I always just idolized their relationship, and I didn't know what that was, but I was like, I want that.
Well, because it made you feel secure.
Yeah. But the dinner, the whole thing.
Yeah. I'm in 1,000% agreement with you. I have always just not thought this is so important and I want to promote it, but I just love it.
Yeah.
I love being a wife and a mom. And my life has been kind of weird because I have had this career, but I was lucky enough to be able to take them with me, but then go to weekends.
Yes. But I don't think it's like, it doesn't matter where you mother. I think
it doesn't matter, you know,
it's like you instilled that, you knew getting them around, whatever, if it was the dinette that you pulled out from the bus, or you know what I mean?
I have pictures of them on the tour bus on the couch with their little dinner trays, you know, and I would, even if I was making them a Hot Pocket.
Doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter. And that's the other thing they're not going to remember, you know, what they ate.
No, they're not going to remember
because my mom, I mean, I have a thing, if you follow along, about cereal, but my comfort food is a bowl of cereal.
Same.
And that is because that's what we ate for dinner.
What's your favorite cereal?
Oh gosh, I love all of them. Like, I remember growing up, I'd love, of course, all the I'm on a cinnamon life kick.
I love that.
I do love that.
Okay, you know what is so good?
What?
Have you ever tried Frosted Flakes with real cream?
Ooh, no,
Like,
but I
not
like
milk,
a Frosted
but
Flake.
cream.
Like cream. No, but do I need to?
Tonight. I mean, I think Jay and I are going to have that for dinner because it just sounds so good right now. Yeah.
Cereal is the best.
Cereal is the best, even though it's probably bad.
No, it is. It's terrible. There's a whole thing about it right now, but yes.
Everything in moderation. Okay, I want to hear what your 10 non-negotiables are for marriage.
Oh gosh.
If you can remember all 10,
yes,
which
I know.
Sure
I'm like,
have. Or at least whatever ones you want to tell me.
Some that stand out. I believe in never saying no.
Mm-hmm. I agree.
You know what that means?
Absolutely.
Wink, wink.
Have sex every time he wants it.
Yeah. You know, and the thing is I was going to get back to like having dinner around the table, 50s housewife, all that.
My kids are going to die when they hear me say
that. So will mine. But here's the thing. I think you can get a lot of backlash from saying that. Well, you know what I mean?
You can get a lot of backlash for saying
a lot of things.
You love being a mom.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
It's just so interesting to me. And I'm like, well, guess what? This is my life. It's how I chose to raise my family.
Yeah.
This is how I pour into my marriage. And this just works for me.
You know, there's no better sort of, I don't know, agency or I don't know, mini government or whatever you want to call it, than the family. The family is the most important.
The walls are what I can control.
Yes. And then it goes out from there into your community. But the family, if the family units all over the world are strong, we have a strong world.
Yes.
You know, 100%. So go ahead.
No, but
never say no.
That's it. You know, never say no. That was one. And also just like dating your husband, you know, prioritizing, like waking up every day, like how can I make his life better?
Yes.
Just because he's also saying, how can I make her life better? This is a partnership. A marriage is worth fighting for. You know what I mean? I think there's going to be highs and lows, but at the end of the day, I also, I really think like take care of yourself. Yeah. I think about like the person that you married.
You're my twin. You're my soul sister.
I am. You are. I just think like you be the person he married and he should be the person you married.
Yep.
I don't believe in just like once you're there, just kind of coasting back and just, well, I'm married,
because
whatever.
You can look so cute and sexy in a great pair of sweats.
Yeah.
And a really cute tank top or t-shirt.
Yes.
The t-shirt can be raggedy, but if you cut it off short.
I think
keep
you got
your
to
body
keep
fit.
it going. Yeah.
You got to keep
like,
it going.
That was part of like, I'm going to be the best wife. I was like, I'm going to take care of myself.
Yes.
For a lot of reasons. Number one, I want to be strong enough and healthy enough to see this thing through.
Yes.
And number two, I want to run around with my kids. I want to, you know, all of that. It has
Run around with
nothing
your
to do
grandkids.
with diet and this and that and weight and body image. It is, I'm like, I feel my best when I feel strongest. I feel good. My jeans fit. I want to, and I made that a job.
Yes.
I took the time to pour into myself for him. I mean, I'm doing it for him as much as I'm doing it for me. So that was another thing I really believe. Dinner on the table. That was one of my other ones. Gosh, what else were there?
Now I will ask
now
your
you gotta
advice.
link to the blog post. Yeah.
I need your advice now. Now that it's just Jay and me in the home.
Yes.
I'm not doing that great at cooking because it's almost like we're not thinking about it, even though we do have romantic dinner every night.
Right.
But for the past, I would say 6 months or so, we've kind of just been ordering out. I have been so busy on the road. Should I go back to cooking for just me and Jay?
Okay, well, first of all, I might need your advice because you're walking in this walk before I get there because we're going to be just the two of us soon enough. So I'm thinking about that too.
Yes.
Because I think like, oh, well, you're not, you know, you can just kind of go along with the day and the next thing you know, you're like, oh, it's 5 o'clock, maybe we should eat something.
Right. Especially now that we have the horses that we have to feed every evening. So we get back.
And then to start something, it's like, well, first of all, I love a crock pot.
Same.
It's getting that time of year where you could throw something in the morning and be like, boil some rice and be done.
I think the answer is yes.
The answer, I think yes. I think you're feeding and fueling that part of your marriage too.
Yes.
But I read something that I thought I would love to try once we're empty nesters like that is kind of picking a night of the week, whatever works for you, and kind of doing like a different appetizer and maybe a different drink or a mocktail or whatever. And kind of, or maybe even like doing a puzzle, playing a game. I mean, it sounds so like juvenile and silly.
Yes.
But I think those are just like little things that you could really, or conversation starter or something, a way to stay connected.
Yes.
Because the busyness of the house and the coming and the going and your work and his.
And also instead of just watching TV together.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, we decided too in our next house, I feel like everyone has a TV in their bedroom, but I'm like, we both said today it was funny. Like I was like, no TV in the next bedroom.
I love that.
Yeah. I'm like, we're just going to read or have sex, one of the two.
I think, and I love your never say no rule. I love that. I love all of your rules. I'm obsessed with you now.
Oh my
I wish
gosh.
I'd met you earlier.
Well, listen, we have a whole life together now.
We have a whole life together now.
We're actually in the best half of our lives. Like I was talking about perimenopause and all the things, and you can.
What does the word peri mean?
The like 10 years before you actually get there.
Okay.
That's where I am apparently.
Okay.
It's so interesting. Like your ears itch, your shoulders frozen, your random things that I just blame it on that.
It's not fun.
No, it's not. But I do feel like I'm at the 50-yard line of my life. I'm 47 and I just think like the next half, you've learned everything. You came into the locker room using the football reference, but you're there. You've made a mistake. You've ran the ball. You've touched down. You fumbled it, whatever the case may be. And now it's time to like, okay, what are we really going to do? You get a game plan and you go hard the next half. And you take everything that you learned and you apply it. And you've got this fresh start. You can invest in your marriage in a way that you never have. You can prioritize yourself outside of kids. Whatever you want to make you want to throw pottery, like go do it. I feel like I'm at that point where I'm like, I'm ready. I'm excited. I don't think people should look at it like a doom and gloom. Like if you get another trip around the sun, God bless you.
Every day that you wake up, you're blessed. And you people, I always tell my kids, I don't feel any different than I felt when I was 25. Your brain stays the same.
Yep.
As far as how you feel. Like,
it's a number.
So it's just a number. I mean, our bodies might change but I feel like I sing better than I used to. I look better than I used to. I feel like you're exactly right because I think we're both highly competitive people, especially with ourselves. And so we want to be the very best versions of ourselves. And you're also
you're so much more comfortable in your own skin.
Yes.
It's such a gift being older. It's like youth is wasted on the young. You know what I mean? It's almost like, gosh, imagine if you had the wisdom and everything going in to that second half. And I do look at women younger than me or young moms. And I was sitting on fall break and I was watching this mother with her young son. And I was thinking, gosh, to go back there and know at that point how critical that is in their development of how you're nurturing getting them to
Yes.
where they are right now. I mean, there's just so many things, but
Yeah, but
we're
I have
all
a
in
feeling-
it doing the best we absolutely can. But it's a sweet time. Life is just really a beautiful mess.
Life is a beautiful mess. And I have a feeling that you knew, though, when your kids were little.
I do hope so. You know, I know how present I was.
Yes, same. I love that word, present.
Mm-hmm.
So before we wrap, and I'm sorry, today we've got a hard wrap just because of scheduling stuff with not only me, but other people. Tell me everything that you want the fans to know about your page, what you do, and then we're going to exchange phone numbers.
Yeah, we are.
I feel like we're best friends.
100%.
Yeah.
100%.
Okay.
Living with Landyn is just a fun space to come to just be inspired. And, you know, I'm a girl's girl. I'm going to tell you where I got the jeans, the under eye concealer, how we're going to roast the chicken.
Are you a good decorator?
I do love that. Okay. I guess I'm going to say I enjoy it a lot. And my mom really liked her hand in that. And so I feel like I just kind of grew up around that. But I enjoy that so much. I enjoy parties and entertaining. I talk about parenting and relationships and marriage and motherhood and menopause and all the things. So it really just is a living with Landyn. It's like what I'm doing today. Today is going to be completely different than tomorrow.
Yes.
And it's just what's going on in my life. And I'm just happy to share, you know, the good, bad, the ugly.
Now, do you post every day?
I try to. You know, it's funny. We've been kind of traveling and doing a lot too. And sometimes I'm like, oh gosh, I need to be a little bit better about that. But yeah, I really do. I like to show up on stories because it's like you're FaceTiming your girlfriend.
Yes.
You know, the static imagery and all the pretty pictures is fun, but like I'm no bra, a zit. And I'm like, ladies, okay, so this is what happened last night. You know,
right.
That's what living with Landyn is. It's truly you're living with me and whatever, you know, I can't tell you what tomorrow's going to bring, but
I love it.
Just trying to make it fun, you know?
I really hope you do write a book.
Thank you. I
because
think I
more
will.
women need, and the world needs more of the same type of outlook that we have.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
And I think also there are so many women that do have the same outlook that we have. Somehow it's become something that you can't really talk about as much, which is
it's not
so
celebrated.
Stupid.
No, yeah.
It's not celebrated. Mm-hmm. And it's infuriating because
it's looked down on almost like, oh, you're just a mom or you're just at home or you're just...
Or having kids is going to ruin your life.
Yeah.
What?
I think everything is how you look at it.
Yeah.
Everything. You can make anything bad or good. You know what I mean? And I think I've kind of always just... My spin's always been kind of the positive route. I don't really even know how to look at it a different way. Yes, I can get down like the next girl. But at the end of the day, I really am grateful for the life I've created. I've worked really hard to make this big, beautiful life.
I can tell.
And celebrate the people in it. And I'm just so happy to be here. Honestly, that's really how I feel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel also very positive about life at the moment.
Yeah.
And so I feel like it's kind of in the air.
Yeah.
You know, don't you think?
But don't you think, like, back to what we said, it's like what you can control is under your roof.
That's right.
And if you can work hard at that, the rest is going to take care of itself.
That's right.
My job when I started our family, I was like, I'm going to put out 2 good humans in the world.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I'm doing my job. I did my job, you know? It's never over, but I feel like I've done a good job. So it sounds like you have too.
I have. Mm-hmm. And I'm proud to say that. It's been the achievement of my life.
Sure.
And it's not platinum selling records, none of that. Mm-hmm. All of that I'm proud of, but that was just a gift that God gave me that I had no control over. But the parenting side of it was a huge effort, as you know.
Yep.
And it's intentional.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And there's nobody like your tribe. Mm-mm. And in those 4 walls, like you said.
That's it.
So this has been such a joy for me. I wish I want to bring you back.
I would love to come back. Or you can just come over and see the chickens.
I would love to. Yes.
No, but I enjoyed you too. I do feel a lot of similar connections and
100%.
Yeah, I think just, you know, it's a lost art. Like bring back the family dinners.
Bring back the family dinners. Yeah. I used to talk about that all the time early in my career. Yeah. Family dinner, family is everything. Just make it happen.
That's right. That's right.
Thank you so much, Landyn.
Thank you.
Living with Landyn.
Thank you.
This was amazing.
Thank you.
Now go to London.
Okay.
In this outfit.
Yes, I got to.